African Democratic Congress ADC Senator David Mark at his Abuja residence. The meeting, described as crucial, comes amid growing political realignment ahead of the 2027 general elections. While details of their discussion remain undisclosed, political observers believe the party may not be unconnected with efforts to forge new alliances and strengthen the opposition's position in the evolving political landscape. Jonathan, who has in recent months been at the center of consultations across party lines, continues to play a pivotal role in Nigeria's democratic process. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who earlier in the day also met with David Mark, disclosed the development on his X page, describing it as a meeting of the Nigerian people against the oligarchs who promote poverty and insecurity in the land. He also shared images of key participants. The African Democratic Congress has also finally rested the idea of using the yet-to-be-registered Advanced Democratic Alliance Party, or ADA, as an alternative vehicle platform for upcoming elections. At a meeting of ADC leaders in Abuja, the National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, disclosed that all ADC's presidential aspirants have agreed to support whoever wins the primaries election, along with a final order being given to all members to resign membership of other political parties.
Okay, it's not surprising that, this political development is of interest to many people and has given rise to speculations in various directions. Now, yesterday alone, you had Alhaji Waziri Adamawa Atiku Abubakar leading a delegation to meet with Senator David Mark in his residence. He was accompanied by most of the principal figures in that ADC coalition, including the former governor of Kwara State, the spokesperson of the party, and then also former governor of Kaduna State, and a host of others. They had a meeting, and then shortly after, the same day, you had, President Goodluck Jonathan visiting the same Senator David Mark, whose position as chairman of the party, the ADC, has been approved by INEC, even if there is a group within the ADC that is objecting to that. Now, it's of interest to the extent that, one, in the case of Waziri Adamawa Atiku Abubakar, he disclosed that, they met to discuss something of interest to the Nigerian people, and that we address how the oligarchs in Nigeria are punishing the poor people. So, in that regard, the disclosure was made in that direction. But as for President Jonathan, people were saying, he's now doing consultations with a lot of people. Well, the reason why many commentators would say that was that after President Jonathan left office, he set up the Goodluck Jonathan Foundation, and then he was very busy with international engagements. He wasn't so actively seen having political meetings. But in recent times, we've seen him having meetings with Mr. Peter Obi, General Babangida, Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, and then now he was seen publicly going to visit Senator David Mark. He may have visited people previously, but it didn't generate news. But it gets reported now because of the circumstances surrounding his place in the current politics, with a lot of people saying that, he's probably the best person that can take power away from the APC government and return it to whatever party. But all of that is still at the level of people speculating and trying to do their own permutations. President Jonathan himself has not made any statement as to where he stands. It could just well be, that he has returned to active politics without necessarily being interested in any position. So we should wait for him and not speculate, for him to come forward and tell us. After all, in 2023, some persons went and spent 150 million naira to collect funds on his behalf. At the end of the day, he said he was not interested. So I think the onus rests with him to give clarity. But what we can say is that with all these meetings, with all these consultations, that something is happening, that the opposition coalition is coming together, trying to find direction. And it is of interest that Malam Bolaji Abdullahi also said yesterday that those members of the coalition who have not made up their minds should go and resign their membership of other political parties and join the opposition coalition under the umbrella of ADC to form a formidable front. By the same token, he said that the involvement with ADA, the other political party called ADA, has been laid to rest because ADA was supposed to be the backup, platform, just in case the ADC platform proved ineffectual. So we watch developments, and I think we'll have clarity, one way or the other, by the first quarter of next year.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Bati, for dissecting the issues this morning. Rufai, I'll come to you now. Your take on the stories.
Okay, you see, a lot of political meetings going on. It shows that something is rife in the political terrain. What I would have loved to ask Dr. Abati is, he met with his Oga, Goodluck Jonathan. Did he broach this talk about politics? And I know he would not like to tell us what his Oga said, but Dr. Abati, is there anything brewing? You see, you're laughing, Dr. Abati. I can see your face. You're laughing. Is there anything brewing based on the lovely meeting you had with your lovely wife and President Goodluck Jonathan yesterday? Or you just said to say hi to him? You didn't talk anything politics. The you I know will have broached the matter. And so it's Dr. Abati that has the empirical facts in the hands as regards this matter today. So,
is he willing to give us?
Is he willing to give us an exclusive?
Facts to give you.
You are not willing to give us any exclusive?
No, I have no exclusive for you.
Okay, no exclusive. Okay.
It was a private visit.
Okay, private visit, private visit. But they talked about many of them. Because you see, the visit I'm more interested in is the visit between Dr. Abati and Goodluck Jonathan rather than the other political visit, because I know that's where we can get some juice. But since you said it was a private visit, I think the thing is, you see, you always have politicians try to align one way or the other, especially when it's political season. I think some things we can hold on to now is the fact that the ADC has now said that they're not going to go ahead with ADA. But if I'm to advise, I will still say they should have another political platform they can use. Because the person they are fighting in this game, President Tinubu, is a master of this game. And you're already seeing the problems in the ADC as we speak. And more will continue. So it is very dangerous to be able to use just one platform. I mean, it's just like what was now proven to be false. Just the statement attributed to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar that he said he was going to favor Yoruba people. Apparently, it was fake news, and Paul Ibe, a spokesperson, have come out to say it. So there's going to be a lot of information warfare. And there's going to be a lot of political warfare. So it is suicidal, to say the least, to say that you are going to use just only one platform. And then if, President Goodluck Jonathan went to see Senator David Mark, yes, they are all part of the PDP family at some point and everything. So it's good for them to see. If Alhaji Atiku Abubakar goes to see, yes, it can be related to politics because we all know that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has not, hit the fact that he's very interested in the political terrain. But anything that pans out, we'll be able to see what pans out in the coming days. But I was waiting for some exclusive, but we don't have exclusive as we speak today.
I believe that 2027 is going to be an exciting one, especially with the players that have come on board. It's often, we've often talked about the fact that when it comes to the choices for Nigerians, usually they're quite limited because it's either one or two, or like we had in the last election, 3 horse race. But now we're seeing a lot more participation. The conversation now with President Goodluck Jonathan visiting Senator David Mark, who was Senate President during his tenure, to maybe perhaps it's a private visit or a social visit, or a visit to consolidate plans as to which party he would, if he decides to run in 2027, which party would be his, would be his party. Would it be the Labour Party? Would it be the PDP? Would it be the ADC? He has kept mum on this, and, we're all waiting to see whether or not, number one, he's going to run, and number two, whether or not he's going to, which party he's going to go to. Recall that the attraction for the North, some might say, is the fact that he has only one term. He can only do one term. And so he would fulfill the last term, and then, when we talk about zoning and all that, he can go back to the North for another 8 years. But beyond that is also Atiku Abubakar coming in and also not letting go. He's also going to see the ADC chairman, and we don't know the details of the conversation as well. But I think the most interesting part of that story for me is what the publicity secretary said, which is that all the presidential candidates have agreed to support whoever emerges in their primaries. This was the same thing that was said in PDP during the last election, until the candidates of some people did not emerge, or it didn't go the way of certain people, and then it was a free-for-all fight, which perhaps cost them the elections during the last cycle. Would this be the same fate for the ADC, or would they have learned some lessons from the PDP and what happened there? So at the end of the day, it's bringing people together. Senator David Mark has a lot of work on his hands to ensure, as chairman, that